Yep, Charlamagne. We are the Brilliant Idiots, and we don't have any pre-rolls today, man. So I just want to tell y'all to please go to brilliantidiotsmerch.com. Andrew Schultz is wearing one of the fire Brilliant Idiots hoodies right now, the gray one. You know what I'm saying? We call that the gray classic gray.
The gray classic gray hoodie. We just started calling that 3 seconds ago.
That's right.
Charlamagne said it.
The classic gray Brilliant Idiots hoodie. So go to brilliantidiotsmerch.com, salute to High U Clothing, get a t-shirt, get some socks, get a hoodie or something. And please continue to pre-order my book, Black Privilege. Opportunity comes to those who create it, in bookstores April 18th. Oh, shit. This ain't the actual copy. This is just the cover.
That's what a book is, bro. It's the cover.
Yeah, this is the cover. So Black Privilege, opportunity comes to those who create it. It's so dope because you can order it at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, but I was on Andy Cohen's show, right? And since I did my pre-orders, since I announced my pre-orders, I've been #1 a few times on the bestsellers list. But this is the power of certain mediums, and this is how when you know somebody moves culture. I'm on Andy Cohen's show. I plug my book like 2 or 3 times. Next morning, #1.
That's crazy.
#1 in general broadcasting. So Andy Cohen moves motherfucking books.
Now, what does that mean? That they did a pre-order?
Yeah, because I mean, when I first announced the pre-order like 4 or 5 months ago, like the first day, it was #1 in general broadcasting. So throughout the last 5 or 6 months, it's hopped to #1. Like when I did Tommy Lawrence Facebook, it jumped to #1 again. So different mediums actually absolutely do cause you to motherfucking.
That's one that actually
books.
makes.
What's
that
general
shit
broadcasting mean? Sorry to interrupt. What's general broadcasting?
It's like, I guess, like radio personality, like not just radio, but people like that have public platforms, I guess, like podcast, radio, like Angie Martinez is in that category, Khaled.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I really don't understand the book world.
Still, it's a #1. That's dope.
Yeah,
We're not going to get into the nitpicky of it.
Exactly.
I got some shows coming out. The Mansplain tour. I'm going to Sunnyvale, California. Rooster T. Feathers. I'll be there March 23rd through 26th. I'll be in Atlanta, Georgia. April 21st through the 23rd at Punchline Comedy Club. I'll be at Liberty Township, Ohio at the Funny Bone Comedy Club, April 28th through 30th. I'm going to do one night only in Sacramento at the Punchline Comedy Club. That's the 6th of May. And then the 7th of May, I'm going to do San Francisco at Cobb's Comedy Club, one night only. And I got some more dates. I'll be in Dallas. I'll be in Connecticut. I'll be back in Dallas. And then I'll be up in West Nyack, New York. So check out theandrewschultz.com for tickets, cop all that. Thank you guys so much for
You got all those church announcements?
supporting.
I'm going to be honest, man. Today's one of those days I ain't with none of the sensitive shit, bro.
What do you mean?
This isn't just in general. Like, I'm just tired of sensitive motherfucking people, man.
What happened? What happened, Charlamagne? What happened?
But it started this morning. You know, I don't know if y'all heard the story about the 2 guys who got into a argument via social media in Florida, in St. Augustine, Florida.
Okay.
They got into an argument via social. Oh man, listen, Florida and the Bronx have the craziest people on the planet.
Duval been telling us this.
Listen, Florida and the Bronx, the craziest news stories come from Florida. All of Florida.
But isn't that crazy that the Bronx is just this little part? Like I understand that just a little part has been left alone and the people are fucked up. The entire state of Florida, is
fucked up.
The entire state.
So listen, the guys got into an argument via social media, black guy and a white guy.
Yeah.
So I guess, like most social media arguments, we'll pull up then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they decided to meet at some convenience store. They both end up killing each other.
Hot.
Gunshots.
That's not sensitive.
That's hot.
That's thug shit.
No.
That's hot. What were they fighting about though?
The argument over social media. I don't even know.
What? Like
I don't even know.
What's the cause? I want to know what you're dying for.
I don't even know. I really don't even know. So I give both of them a donkey today.
Okay.
And I, just give a lesson where I tell kids, like, look, man, there's nothing on social media there's nothing that can be said to me on social media that's worth me pulling up with my pistol to want to see you. Yeah. If somebody pisses you off that bad on social media, you can block them. Yeah. You can unfollow them. Yeah. You can mute them.
Like their tweets.
That's it.
Like that shit. Retweet it.
It don't have to go to gun violence, right?
Yeah.
So I get these I'm talking about emails to Twitter. It's like, that's so insensitive. You don't know these people. Where that's my family, or that was my friend. And the guy had kids. Well, guess what? That makes it worse. The fact he had kids.
Yeah, you're the idiot.
And, come on, man. man. Like, you can't like Donkey of the Day and laugh about it when it's somebody else, getting the credit they deserve for being stupid.
Yeah.
But when somebody that's your family or your friend does one of the most stupidest things I've heard in a long time, you can't get mad at me for just reporting the story.
No, you should be mad at him for going to fight somebody over social media. Real quick, Akaash Singh is with us. We didn't say that in the beginning. I don't think
Akaash
so.
Singh.
So if you hear another voice, that's Akaash Singh.
Yeah, this isn't some Muslim we're just trying to protect.
Hey, you said Muslim, dog.
Wow, you said it right.
Yo, I think Trump says that shit so much Charlamagne learned how to say it.
That's crazy. When a brown person's in the room, you pronounce that shit right, huh? That's how it is. Okay.
Nah, I've been Muslim the other times I've been here.
Oh, really?
We're not protecting him from ICE right now, people. He's
from what?
Who?
ICE.
ICE?
You ain't heard of ICE?
Oh, immigration.
No, they're not playing.
ICE.
ICE is not playing. That's what they call it. They call it ICE.
Yeah, ICE, which is immigration something.
Immigration collecting everybody who doesn't belong. That's what that shit is. Them motherfuckers is not playing.
They're just trying to kick people out who not supposed to be here.
They are just walking.
Isn't that weird that people get
people.
upset about that? They're like, how dare you kick people out who aren't supposed to be here? That's what you do.
I guess that's the thing, though. I guess we don't know who's supposed to be here.
I'm just saying, if there's a 17-year-old at the club, right? Right? And the bouncer comes up and goes, can I have your ID? And the 17-year-old goes, my ID says that I'm not supposed to be here. And the bouncer goes, you got to go. Does the club start protesting? No, keep the person who's not supposed to be here in the club. It is no walls, no ban, or whatever that shit is. You're supposed to. You're not supposed to. Now, if you're not supposed to be here and you manage to get in and you manage to work and send money back home, do you, dog? But if someone catches you doing illegal shit, don't be surprised if you get sent back.
I mean,
and I'll tell you why that is.
There's a lot of logic in that.
I'll tell you why that is. And honestly, it was a conservative that flipped my brain on this whole shit. There are people from other countries who wait years.
It's hard to get in from India, man.
Become a citizen in the United States of America. And Indian shit, you can go to Scotland and all different parts. They wait years. They go through, they spend thousands of their own dollars to get on a list, hoping one day to have the opportunity to come to America. And what you're basically saying is, oh, nah, because these people are right here, they should just be able to come, cut the line, and just be naturalized because it makes me feel morally superior if I say so. In a way, it's disrespectful to the other people who went through the actual legal process.
I think it's a lot of logic in that, but also with the club analogy, man, it comes a point in time where the club has to be punished too. Because if the club continues to let underage kids in, knowing that they're letting underage kids in, the club gets shut down. So America has to take some responsibility, because how do you come into the country as an illegal immigrant, end up getting a job?
That's essentially ICE's job, is to be guys going around the club, use the same analogy, saying, hey, do you belong here? And then if you don't, get the fuck out.
But after 20 years, bro, if I've been here 20 years, let me rock out. I ain't bothering nobody.
Maybe there could be an amnesty.
Son, I'm supportive of it. I love illegal immigration. I think it's amazing, right? That being said, you're not going to find me make an argument saying that it's legal when it's illegal.
No, I'm with you. I guess my only argument would be, why now? Especially for people that have been in this country for decades. Like, why kick them out now?
So what you're trying to say is, if you're doing the whole like statute of limitations shit. You're saying there should be and honestly, there's something to that. Like, yo, if you make it in America and you stay under the radar for 10 years, like if we forgive, robbery after 5 years, I think there used to be a statute of limitations on rape. You used to be able to rape a chick, and then as long as they didn't catch you for 10 years, you were good.
How much time did we get before we got to the rape talk?
Man.
How many minutes?
Man, I forget you got a book coming out. You got to be PC and shit.
How many minutes? 8 minutes? 8 minutes?
Look,
okay.
Listen, all I'm saying is, there was a statute of limitations of these shit, and you're trying to say there should be a statute of limitations on immigration. If you stay here for a certain amount of time, you're allowed to say, I'm not necessarily against that.
Yeah, I just want to know why now. Like, this is something, the way they're acting now, this is how it seems like they should have been acting right after 9/11. And maybe they were, I don't know. But it seems like right after 9/11, that's when this should have been going on. Like, what has happened now for this to be like, let's go. They gotta go.
It's just a bunch of people who don't have jobs in different parts of the country, and then they see people who, technically speaking, shouldn't be allowed to work here who have jobs. You don't think you're going to be a little bit resentful?
Yeah, I think there's a whole section of the country that we really do ignore on the coasts who are pissed off for whatever reason. You can think it's right or wrong, but they're pissed off, and they've been waiting for somebody to galvanize them. Like, yeah, we're going to get all these dudes out.
Well, remember I said this 6 months ago, and I will repeat it now. Those same people are going to flip on our celebrity in chief, Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is not going to do anything for them that he promised. Ain't no coal mines coming back. The healthcare motherfucking seems like it's more expensive now than it was under Obama. Like for the shit that he's implemented thus far, they're going to be even more pissed off, and those are the motherfuckers you need to worry about.
He only needs to do 3 things for them, though. He only needs to start building a wall. He don't even need to finish it. If he starts building a wall, if the temporary Muslim ban that they're doing right now already satisfies another thing to say, he's doing all the shit
Jobs,
that he
bro.
can say. At the end of the day, it's jobs.
Because what's the point if you kick all the illegal immigrants out, but that doesn't give these people on the coast
Here's
jobs?
one thing Trump can do.
What happens?
Hold on, real quick. One thing Trump can do. My homie brought up this point. He travels around to a bunch of small cities. He went to Ripon, Wisconsin, and he's talking to this guy trying to sell him his product. He's a businessman. He said, "What's your biggest expense?" He said, "Honestly, the biggest expense in this city is bringing in potable water, because they have like a Flint type situation where the water is so fucked they have to import in water."
Right.
And Trump's big thing right now is infrastructure. So if he can get Ripon, Wisconsin water, they're going to vote for it.
Right.
Done. He doesn't need to do everything. Get them infrastructure.
Is that what all the electoral college votes are?
I mean, Hillary lost
He's gonna need
Wisconsin.
more than that.
Well, here's the other thing. They're going to do this big infrastructure, which is just building highways and fixing bridges and building basically you just have the government give you a bunch of money to hire people to work. Now, when you hire people to work on government shit, it's like what FDR did around the Great Depression. You basically are hiring people to do innocuous tasks. You're hiring people to mix cement. You're hiring people to pour cement. That being
That shit been
said,
going on forever, though.
no, but they're going to actually do a big push. That hasn't been done since
New
like
York been under
the
construction for
Eisenhower-
at least 20 years.
Yeah, privately, dog. Not that shit. It's not like the government paying for it.
You go down south, they got so many three-lane highways now that used to be 2-lane highways. Motherfuckers was out there working, doing that shit too.
Put
Shit
it this way.
going on.
Would you vote for Trump if at the end of his administration you could no longer say Monk's Quarter, South Carolina, dirt roads, population 8,000? You would have to say paved roads, cement paved roads.
For me, the reason I would never vote for Trump is simply because I don't like the energy that he has brought to the country. Like for me. But I'm in a different. I don't have the other problems that people have. Like I don't have the economic, financial problems that people have. Like I don't have those issues. But for me, it's just simply about I don't like the energy that he has brought to America. Yeah. Period. And why would you vote for a motherfucker who probably was compromised by Russians? All this shit is every time the Jeff Sessions shit comes about or motherfucking Michael Flynn, they start talking about some other shit.
It's so annoying that we buy into it, dog.
Yes,
that drives me
we
crazy.
fall for it every time.
It's like if you get in trouble, your kid, he's 8 years old, and he's like, "Well, what about Jeffrey doing that?" You say, "I don't give a fuck with Jeffrey's doing. I'm talking about you."
I know somebody who just got fired for that.
Whole country just chasing.
Just that.
For what?
They got caught doing some shit they ain't had no business doing.
Who?
I don't want to say. But they got caught doing some business they got caught something doing they had no business doing, and when they got caught, they go, "Well, he was doing it too."
Kobe Bryant.
And no, this is somebody I know.
No, the Kobe thing. That's what Kobe did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But the reason the person fired them, he said, "I didn't respect that. I would rather have caught them in a lie." Just knew they was lying, but when they threw somebody else under the bus, he was like, "I don't want somebody like that."
I'll handle that, but then Trump says Barack tapped my whatever, and then people
bullshit.
Chase the tap story and work so hard to prove it's not true. We forget about Russia.
Bullshit. Absolutely.
But we don't just see the bullshit and ignore it.
I read an interesting thing about that tap story, yo.
What's up?
So I read a very interesting thing about the tap story about how they could potentially prove that Obama did have Trump Tower tapped. Now, we gotta keep it very real, right? So, in order to get a wiretap, and I'm not gonna get all this 100% right, but in order to get a wiretap, you need to ask permission from, I think, the Attorney General,
and you have to have a reason.
And you have to have the reason. So the reason is there was concern that there might be Russian influence, right? So what essentially could have been tapped were 3 people in the Trump administration. Trump's lawyer, who had prior dealings with Russia, Michael Flynn, who we know, who was his NSA chief, who we know had met with the Russian ambassadors or whatever, and then there was one other person, I'm forgetting the name. So what could
Jeff Sessions?
No, I don't think it was Sessions. I think it was another person. But what could be, or maybe it was Sessions, because Sessions they know had met with the Russians as well. So what they could have done is said, "Hey, we want to get a wiretap at Trump Tower because these people have met with the Russians, and we need to, for national security, make sure that they're not actively engaging with Russians and doing nefarious shit." Now, what Trump could do is spin that they wiretap these 3 people to Obama wiretapped me at Trump Tower. So what he's saying is not essentially wrong. It's just misleading the public.
Provided all that is true.
Provided that is true.
Yeah, but that's just like when somebody says George Bush knocked down the towers. Like a conspiracy theory. You blame the symbol.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure,
Like, it's shit bigger than Barack. They're like Barack.
And also, it's no facts. It's, you know, how he could have, which is exactly like the towers.
That's why Barack should sue the shit out of Donald Trump.
What, for slander?
What? That's defamation of character and slander. You can't. First of all, you're just straight up lying on me.
Yeah, Barack.
Well, no, he's not. That's the argument, is that it wouldn't hold up in court and he would lose in court.
Well, how can you prove Donald Trump's telling the truth?
All you have to prove is that those wiretaps were put on those 3 people, and we already know for a fact that those 3 people had prior dealings with Russia, so there's a national security issue at stake.
So then Barack looks like a hero.
Again, a logical leap, though.
Trump, So then Barack
looks like a hero because they knew something was up.
I wouldn't say hero, but Barack looks justified. But guess who else looks justified? Trump.
What, in saying that?
Yeah, because he's like, no, he did put a wiretap, so technically he's right. It won't hold up in court.
If I was Trump, I wouldn't even admit to that. That's like really admitting that you were doing something wrong.
Yo.
I know.
This motherfucker, like, you know the term content is king that we always use on this podcast?
Absolutely.
That's what I'm realizing what Trump does. He inundates us. Him and his team inundate us with content. Every day, it's constant memes, sound bites, constantly. And he gives us so much to digest, we can't even really pick through and figure out what's really fucked up.
We don't stick to what we need
all
to
of
be
it.
sticking
That's what I'm
to.
saying.
Focus on Russia.
Yeah.
Like, that's what needs to be focused on. Our administration has been
While that
compromised.
Russia shit is happening, who knows what he could be doing with Planned Parenthood? While the Russia thing is happening, who knows what he could do about gay rights? Like, all these other things could be happening under the radar while we focus on Russia, when Russia could have
Would
nothing
you
to do
feel
with it.
comfortable knowing that America, which has essentially been the number 1 superpower forever, was puppets to somebody else now?
No, but I also don't think that, in my heart, think that we're puppets.
Shit.
I don't.
Maybe Trump might be. Absolutely, it has to be. It's coming out more and more that we've been compromised.
Out more and more that these people have met with Russian officials, but I'm also doing some reading.
But why lie about it?
But what would he have done?
So here's the thing that I'm wondering, and this was my issue the whole time, is, are you lying because you're concerned that people will find out that you've been compromised, or are you lying because you don't want the American people to think that you're compromised? In other words, like, you didn't go cheat on your girl, right? But sometimes you lie about what you did because your girl might think that you were cheating on her. You feel me? Like, let's say you.
That's dumb.
Yeah, but let's say
especially to do it on.
Let's say you go to a girl's house.
Especially to do it in a court of law.
I know. I agree with you. But let me give you the example. So let's say you go to this girl's house. You didn't fuck her. You didn't do anything. Now your girl goes, "What'd you do last night?" You go, "Shit, I was just with the boys at the bar," because you know that if you say I was at this girl's house, she's gonna think you fucked her. So I'm going, are these people doing the I didn't go to that girl's house lie because they're trying to cover up the fact they're compromised, or because they actually didn't do anything but it doesn't look good?
But what you're saying, essentially, and this is the truth, we only lie when we know we did something wrong. Because when he tried to bring Nancy Pelosi in it, and what's the other guy name? Schumer? Was it Schumer? Charles Schumer. Bro, that was public. Everybody saw that. We know that they met with the Russians. They're not trying to hide it. Why are you trying to hide it?
But yeah, that's what I don't give a fuck about anybody else. Let's just focus on Trump and stop. Well, no, Chuck Schumer has evidence. Fuck that. We know what he's doing. Let's just talk about him.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I agree with you. Don't get me wrong. It's very shady, and I'm concerned. I'm also just exhausted with talking about it. Can we talk about? Okay, here's something.
Hold on, there's one more thing. This will piss people off. I tweeted out, abortions don't count as giving something up for Lent.
Okay.
People are upset about that for whatever reason.
Why?
I have no idea.
So you're trying to give up.
Abortions don't count as giving something up for Lent.
So So are you saying you're gonna give up abortion for 40 days?
No.
You're
Giving up a baby is abortion. Just because you got an abortion doesn't mean you gave up something.
Now, if they slowly took the baby out of you piece by piece for 40 days, that would be giving something up.
Or an abortion a day for 40 days.
Or if you got now you'd have to get pregnant. You'd need a Puerto Rican boyfriend.
By the way, they take away Planned Parenthood. It's gonna take 40 days for y'all to have an abortion, especially if you're about 4 months. You're gonna have to take it out piece by piece, goddamn.
You're gonna have the duster buster.
I'm trying to
dust
tell
buster
you.
right up against
I'm trying to motherfucking tell you.
So no, that makes. I think. Look, I'm with you. Logical sense.
Logical, very logical.
But I also think the way you argued is just go. No, I mean like you're giving up having abortions for 40 days. That'd be the nice Catholic thing to do. For these 40 days, I'm not gonna have an abortion.
But what did they say was offensive about it?
Man, I don't know what people find offensive anymore. Hey.
Oh, my baby's here! Angela! Hey, I didn't know Angela Rye was going to be in the building. Hey, hold on. Angela, come here, sweetheart. Come on, take your shoes off.
So this purse is really heavy.
What purse? That?
You got your gun in it?
Carry your purse. That's what I'm carrying.
You can't be carrying your gun around New York, Angela.
Watch how you touch.
I'm only going to touch your back and your shoulders.
You can't be carrying your gun around New York.
Damn, Angela. It's so good to see you.
Oh, we got another mic?
All right, he's going to get this.
You
what
feel
do
like
mean
chatting?
you're not talking? You are so beautiful in person. Yeah. Honestly, pictures don't do you justice. For real. So what's going on? Life.
Hold on, wait till she gets the microphone.
She won't even make eye contact. You scared you're going to fall in love. You might fall in love right now.
Let me pay these bills. We're going to get Angela a mic because she walked in at a great time.
Yeah,
she
she
can
did.
really help us with this.
You set me up.
Now, today's episode of Brilliant Idiots is also brought to you by the upcoming HBO comedy special, Gerard Carmichael 8. Salute to my guy, Gerard Carmichael. He's returning to HBO for his second stand-up comedy special entitled Gerard Carmichael 8, premiering March 11th at 10 p.m. on HBO. I will be watching that. I love Gerard. Filmed before a live audience in New York City, the show features Gerard's thought-provoking take on cultural norms. Gerard addresses a wide range of subjects, including climate change, supporting the troops, and larger themes like race, politics, love, family, and so much more. So much more might mean a rape joke. Gerard will try to execute a rape joke, and it may or may not land. I don't know if you should try that this time.
Gerard?
Yeah, not now that he got his sitcom and everything.
Gerard don't give a fuck, man.
Gerard, we actually had dinner with Gerard when we were out in LA, and Gerard doesn't care, and he is just really brilliant the way that he kind of put it. Yeah, he basically was like, we have the leverage. We are the creators. They need us. We can't live in fear of pissing people off.
I agree with that.
We are the creators. We create. And you have to push the limits. And he talked about the things that he gets away on network TV. And he goes, I just ask why we can't do it.
I agree. And because his transgender episode was brilliant.
This year he said, like, they're saying the N-word.
He's got some shit coming.
They're like, they dress some, like a bunch of different things that you'd never see on NBC. He's pushing it now. I hope people fuck with it. I think Gerard is very funny.
It bothers me that Gerard's show doesn't get mentioned when they talk about like all of the new dope black comedies that are just shows in general.
You know what? It could be to his benefit because the more heat he has, the higher the expectation. Sometimes you can fly under the radar.
Yeah.
And he made a good ass point.
A nice slow bubble.
A nice slow bubble. He was like, he made a good ass point. He's like, I'd rather make, what did he say? I'd rather make Yeezus than.
Yeah. I don't remember what you
I like the analogy. I'd rather be Jay-Z than 50 Cent.
Nah, his point was
his point was like
artistically.
He'd rather make the art. Like he'd rather make the weird art one that some people didn't like, but they talked about because he's like, we got to push it forward. We got to talk about it. Was listen. I support Gerard. I think he's great, man. I really hope.
Yeah. Well, Gerard Carmichael 8 is an 824 production, directed by Bo Burnham, executive produced by Gerard Carmichael, John Hodges, Ravi Nandan, and Christopher Stoner. Gerard Carmichael 8 premieres on this Saturday, March 11th at 10 p.m. on HBO, and the special will also be available on HBO Now, HBO Go, and HBO On Demand. Now, I set Angela up because I'm going to make this love connection happen between her and Andrew.
I'm so excited.
Lies.
I'm glad
Alternative facts.
I'm glad that I got my hair all cut nice.
I'm glad that you washed that sweatshirt. It doesn't have the creases in it like
this
it did
is a
on
different
Instagram.
one, baby. I wore a brand new one. Let's be honest. How much more attracted to me are you in person?
I'm not. I'm sorry.
Oh, y'all never met in person?
Hold on.
I just thought about that.
I just want to clarify this statement. You said you're not any more attracted. So it's the same level of attraction that you've always had.
Not attracted.
You're not attracted?
No.
Physically or intellectually or emotionally?
All of the above.
No attraction whatsoever. No. Zero attraction.
Zero. But you want to go down a different road.
Hold on.
I don't
Even
think
when
this
you
is
see
gonna
me
feel
stand
good.
here like 6 feet 2 inches tall, full head of hair.
However,
Hold on one second. Don't touch me. She tried to touch me. She did just try to touch me. I just want to say I'm trying to respect you. You try to give me a high five. You try to touch my breasts. I don't know what it was. My point is, I'm sitting here. Clearly, I'm an alpha male. Clearly, I'm ready to make children. I'm at my prime right now. You're coming to the end of it. I feel like we need to. She is. I feel like we need to make this happen now. I feel like we need to put children in the world now
so
before
I'm
it's too
happy
late.
to help you find your love connection, but it is not me.
What I'm saying is this. We opened the black bank account together.
No,
right?
you can have your own black.
Did you open your black bank account?
I'm waiting for her. I said I'm waiting for. I didn't say that. Don't give me that
we
look.
have computers in here. We're happy to help you do
we're
that
going
today.
to the bank, baby.
No, we're
Me
going to
and
go
you
to
are
the
going to the
computer.
bank.
Joint account.
I'm
No,
getting
there's
the
not a joint account.
and
There's
we're
not
gonna
a joint
college
account.
fund for our
Listen,
kid.
No,
Can I
The only
speak on
joint
behalf
account
of
I
my
have
homie?
is with my mama.
Please.
Speak on behalf of my homie.
What kind of wingman
He's
you
a
are?
really
But this
good
is,
dude.
I'm just gonna tell you now, this is dead in the water.
He's-
Like it's
well,
not
listen,
happening.
First of all,
Can I
nothing's dead
ask-
in the water.
Can I ask
This
that you
is-
No, it
please
isn't.
not be so
I promise.
closed off to him just because he's white
Thank
and
you.
thinks differently?
Is that what you're gonna
Thank
do?
you.
Let the record
You
show.
gonna
Let the
troll
record.
me?
No.
Right?
Let the
I'm
record show.
electronic
Nobody brought up race except for Akash.
fine?
There was
Yeah,
no race
that's fine.
discussion
I'm
happening.
just addressing the elephant in the room.
Racists.
Guess what? There's not enough space for an elephant in this room. It's just not happening.
First of all, can we acknowledge
Indians
that
are racist.
they invented
Incredibly.
Really?
Dude.
Yeah.
Against who?
Everyone.
Cowboys?
This motherfucker. Here you go, pissing people off again, giving up abortion for Lent. There's
Yo.
one type of Indian.
Here's how unfazed I am by that shit. I thought he was talking about the Dallas Cowboys. I was like, I'm from Dallas. What you talking about? I love the Cowboys.
Yo, Akaash is post-racial. You
I
heard
don't
that?
give a fuck, bro.
All right,
that
but
even
we
mean?
should. You brought up a very good
He
point.
just Kellyanne your couch, Charlamagne.
This ain't Charlamagne's couch. It's MTV's couch.
You don't got no dress.
MTV don't pay us enough for me to not for me to respect the couch.
Yo, real
Just
talk. Though,
Kellyanne the
MTV
couch,
needs
though.
to take care of you a little bit better. You are keeping this place alive.
I haven't done anything yet.
Without you, there's no shows on this network.
Mm-hmm.
You need a window. We're in a glorified walk-in closet. Okay, it's
is a
not even enough space for you to nap. You can barely nap.
I got a couch.
yourself.
But this
you
is-
need the window.
But this is the thing. I always say this about
You
offices.
shouldn't nap on it now. There's a foot right in the middle of the couch.
I always say this about offices
You
in
look like you
corporate
got
America.
nice feet, by
I
the
don't
way.
want to keep nothing in my office in
focus.
corporate America.
I can't
because you
focus
never
on
know
it.
when they're gonna fire you. So you just want. I want to be able to roll out.
Yeah, but that way you have a
Put
window
that
to
in the
jump
universe,
out.
Charlamagne. Don't put that in the universe.
Yeah, I
No,
feel like we should.
I got a year left on my contract, baby.
And then
Man,
you out
Come
here.
on,
Then
I'm a
you out of
moonwalk.
here, bro. Then you out of here.
I'm a moonwalker.
Come on, bro. You don't want to be the last. You don't want to be the last man playing cello on the Titanic. You know what I'm saying? yo,
Wow,
when
so
the
this
ship is
isn't
sinking,
constructive.
you gotta get off that bitch with the women and
This
kids.
is very. No, it's just about growth. That's all.
Yo,
I just feel like I'm
Hey, man.
evolving. That's all.
You-
I know where I'm going to be this time next year. I know what I want.
Hey,
Like
man, you don't gotta
I'm the
explain
type of
it.
person
We
I like
know.
to speak things into fruition, and I have a plan. I have a long-term plan
know,
and a
baby.
short-term plan.
We know.
I know where I'm going to be in 2018.
I know. You should 2017. 'Cause the water's coming up the sides.
Now listen, I don't want to talk too much about politics anymore, but we have Angela here. Why should we be concerned about Jeff Sessions?
Angela, how old are
You
you?
said why shouldn't?
How
Why
old
should
are
we
you,
be?
First of
Why?
all?
This is what you did last time, Andrew. Is there a mute button for him?
No, there's not.
There needs to be one.
There's only one way
You're
to
gonna
shut me
follow
up.
him in real life.
37,
There's only one
and
way to
Jeff
shut me up.
Sessions is very problematic.
Make out with me. That's it.
Dude, this mic flies. Like
I'm good at catching. No?
Guys, I don't
I've
like the family
elite-
arguing like this. I don't like to see
That's what I'm saying.
Andrew's like my brother. You're like my sister-in-law. I don't like to see
I
this.
don't even know
I don't
her.
know you like that, bro.
But I know Andrew loves her. What else
Yeah,
matters?
what
dog?
else
I
matters,
support
That's
love.
not it.
The
That's not
fuck?
Love
it.
is love is love is love. You saw the Hamilton dude.
Listen, freaking
I
Frank.
feel like they must be like Trump people because they're trying to distract us from the question.
Who's
I
Trump
want
people?
people.
The Indian?
I'm Trump people.
Jeff Sessions. We were talking about Jeff Sessions, and y'all are totally.
You can't
off
play
message.
that the gender or the race politics
Yeah.
when I got an Indian here.
Yeah, fam.
that shit
I'm
ain't
not
gonna work.
playing.
What does
I'm
that
not
even mean?
playing.
That shit ain't
We
gonna
don't
work.
know.
That
He heard it
identity
on
politics
Fox.
shit
He
ain't
heard it
gonna
on
work.
Fox.
I got me a minority.
Hold on, there's no Indians that voted for
It's
I
two
Trump.
got
on
me
two,
a
baby.
minority.
No Indians voted for Trump.
He just said, "I got me a minority."
Yes.
Do you really want to ask him any
I
more
got me a
questions after that?
minority.
Yes.
Like,
I got me a minority.
How much you pay for him?
I got me a white dude.
How much?
I got me a white dude.
How much did
Yo,
you
I
pay
got
for?
you.
I got a loan yesterday.
So, how much did you pay for your minority?
How much I paid for it?
Yeah.
don't do it.
He's
Don't
costing
do
me
it.
money.
Don't
Yeah,
do
bro.
it.
Out here
cheap,
costing
fam.
me
Indians
everything.
ain't cheap,
Really
fam.
Man,
flip it in his
you
mouth.
can't outsource him. This is an American born right here,
my
dude.
God.
Hell yeah.
Real talk.
Hell yeah.
Flag on every play ever. What was the question?
Why is Jeff Sessions problematic?
So, let me count the ways.
Boring. Yo, let's get back to us dating.
Come on, stop doing that, man. Let us talk.
Andrew, I don't know if you can't look in my face. Not happening.
I can look.
Jeff
I can look
Sessions.
you right in the
Okay.
face.
That's great.
All day.
Not happening.
God
Jeff
bless.
Sessions.
You have a little
Problematic
Mariah.
on-
Oh, let her talk. This is the part where
Always
you're being
Be My
annoying
Baby.
now. You're being annoying,
There's
Andrew.
a little bit there.
You're getting a lot. Everybody's hitting on SoundCloud. Shut the fuck up right now.
That worked though. She's smiling on that one. You like that
Listening to
one?
Charlie,
Nah,
like,
she
that
like
reminds me
that
of
one.
my old
Everybody.
Twitter
Do do
videos.
do.
You can get it over. You can get over it.
You gonna let her talk or you gonna just be annoying right
Do
now?
that. He doesn't want to hear this truth. He's
Yeah.
not woke.
All right,
He's
all
in a
right.
sunken place.
All right, give me the truth.
I don't think he agrees with Jeff
Give me the
Sessions.
truth.
though.
I don't like Jeff Sessions. Get him out. I don't like
Why?
literally
So let's talk about why.
because he looks like a testicle.
Okay, why else? That's substance.
The whole administration looks like a testicle.
Yeah, he
By
got
the
a lot
way,
of testicle-looking
white
motherfuckers
men
in there.
over 50 look like testicles.
Yo, we do turn into testicles real
So
talk.
you better get popping now.
I'm saying, let's get it now before I fall apart, yo. Let's get it now.
So-
No, I don't like Jeff Sessions because I don't trust anybody that lied about me and the Russians. So I don't like Jeff. I don't like Michael Flynn. I don't like Trump's lawyer. I don't like, who else do I not like?
Trump.
Well, Trump hasn't been questioned whether he met the Russians or not. But I also don't like Trump, but not
So,
for that reason.
Well, I appreciate what you said. That was the latest of Jeff Sessions' issues.
Yeah.
So yesterday there was a memo that he sent out encouraging states attorneys throughout the country, and AUSA's assistant U.S. attorneys to prosecute to the fullest extent of the law folks who commit any type of violent crime. But he also included in the last paragraph of that memo anybody who commits an act that would also lend itself to violence. So, of course, all of drug trafficking was in there. That opens up a major can of worms for people of color, Black and brown folks who've been disproportionately targeted for those types of crimes. That's the latest thing he's done. And he did a lot before he lied about meeting with the Russians, or at least before that story.
It just never affected my life personally, so I didn't know about it. But now that he is in a position to personally affect my life, I have to know what's going on and what his dealings with are. So that the Russian thing bothered me. Also, this drug thing bothers me just because I think the war on drugs is absolutely horrible and
that's what this is. It's the war on drugs all over again.
I know, and mass incarceration. I mean, it's a very libertarian philosophy, but I would legalize drugs. I mean, I think that's what you do. You want to get rid of drug lords. You want to get rid of mass incarceration. You just make the thing that they're selling on the black market legal.
And then that's the problem, right? Because the least offender of those is marijuana. There are states with recreational marijuana.
I just got my marijuana card. I was in California.
Oh, that's about to get revoked, baby.
Snatched. And so
about to get revoked, baby.
Well, here's the thing that we can get into. There's a difference between what happens on a federal level and a state level.
No, but that's the whole issue now, right? So
he's asking these attorney generals to
that's a different point. What I was just raising with you was the violent crimes memo. But last week, he encouraged, he let states know, he put states on notice that now they're going to begin federal enforcement even in states that have recreational marijuana laws on the books.
That's the problem.
The challenge is, though, when you go out and say that, the feds can go into any market.
They always could have. That's never changed.
No, they couldn't because
they could have.
No, they were under direction from Eric Holder not to prosecute and not to even enforce federal laws in states that have recreational marijuana laws. But the reality is they could have. No, they could not have because their boss said they couldn't.
No, that's not true.
Their new boss said that they can.
That's not true. They could have if they wanted to. Now, on a federal, I mean, it's just
she doesn't do this for a living.
I mean, maybe she should look more into it. Look, the reality is, I think you should.
Don't feel insulted. That's who he is.
No, don't feel insulted. You should look more into it.
I mean, people are researching to be like, Andrew's wrong, and they'll correct them on
Well, no, that's
Twitter.
not true because we did a show. I did a show that Akaash wrote on with me. It was called Jobs That Don't Suck, where we interviewed somebody who ran a grow house, and currently it was running a grow house in, I think it was Colorado. And on a federal level, he acknowledged that what he was doing is absolutely illegal. And any point in time, federal agents could have come in there. Let's say Eric Holder decided on a Tuesday that, matter of fact, he was going to punish these crimes.
Sure.
He could have changed that decision. So what I'm trying to say is, on a federal level,
you disagreed with me because yes, you did, because you said if Eric Holder would have changed his mind, and so that's what happened.
My point is, point is on a federal level, it's always been illegal. Now the issue at hand.
That's not what your point was, but that's
just listen. On a federal level, you just need to let me mansplain something.
I ain't seen shows dance in a while. This is
listen,
good. I love it.
So here it is. On a federal level, it's always been illegal. What people don't understand is how the justice system works in this country. You need cooperation between the states and the federal government. There are not enough federal employees to go out to every single weed dispensary and uphold all federal laws. You need the states.
Not what the argument was.
Let me finish, Angela.
Your argument is
Let me finish. You need the states to cooperate with the federal government, hence Sessions asking for cooperation. And what happens right now is the states will not cooperate. And like it's already been happening in California, where the Attorney General of California said he decriminalized entirely street vendors because he knows how many of them are illegal, and he doesn't want to use that as an opportunity to basically arrest them for some innocuous crime and then send them back to Mexico or whatever Central American country that they came from. So what you're going to see is in the future, and a lot of people will learn about this, is the difference between a federal mandate and a federal law and action in enforcing it on a state level. If the states don't want to do it, they ain't gonna fucking do it.
So that's what you're missing, right? In law school, you learn about something called conflict of laws, and there's a hierarchy. There are city, municipal-based laws, right? They are trumped by state law. State law is trumped by federal law. What I'm saying to you is, Eric Holder said we're not going to federally enforce. They can't decriminalize absent legislation, but we're not going to federally enforce, which has the almost the power of an executive action, right? That is the person who oversees that particular cabinet. Jeff Sessions coming in and saying we actually are going to federally enforce. You don't need any cooperation from the states. You just send in the feds. That's what the DEA is.
There's not enough feds.
Okay, we're not talking about going into every single one. We're
That's what
telling
I'm talking
people, I don't know.
Unenforceable.
Moving the goalpost.
Unenforceable.
No,
that's my argument is unenforceable. You need the states to cooperate.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
What law school did you go to?
I don't need to go to law school. This is basic information. This is basic information.
No, it's not
This is basic information on how the world works.
Laws trump state
If you have any knowledge of like the history of how our country is put together, then you would know that the states have an incredible influence over the laws and how their government.
Tell me what happened in desegregation. Did the states need to cooperate with the feds who brought in the black students into the white schools? Did the states need to cooperate with the feds going into white schools to integrate the schools? No.
Federal government had to come in.
What I said, did states have to cooperate? The answer is no.
Okay.
They were made to do it.
By the federal government.
Okay.
Right.
And that's the same thing that's going to happen with your weed laws.
Angela. Here's my question to you. Do you think that the federal government could do that every single day?
I didn't
But why
Let me finish.
No, you should. Why you not acknowledging what
I
she
just
said?
acknowledged it. I just acknowledged it. I said the federal government stepped in.
With a question.
I said the federal government stepped in.
And what I'm saying to you is the whole point of this was not to say that it was going to be enforced at every dispensary,
let me just make this last
every
point.
moment.
So again,
but you should be on notice that they are going to begin federal enforcement. That doesn't mean every single shop is going to get shut down tomorrow.
Sure.
It means that they can now begin targeting.
Right. Well, they could always begin targeting because they have.
You don't have to keep arguing the same.
No.
No.
What you're missing is they could always target because on a federal level, yes or no, it is illegal.
On a federal level, it is illegal, but
That's
they
my
have
point.
to have
That's what gives them
instruction
the
by
permission to
Attorney
a target.
General. No, they have to have instruction by the Attorney
To
General
target it.
to enforce.
To enforce.
You had one Attorney General saying we're
Yeah,
not
I
enforcing,
know.
and another one.
You
come
can
back
only
and say-
force a law that exists, correct?
What?
You can only
Andrew,
enforce a law that
The Attorney General
exists.
sets what the priorities are. The last Attorney General said this is not a priority.
Angela dancing
I'm not
over here,
enforcing.
huh?
And that's not.
Angela
Angela's
I think
tip-tap,
that-
Well, this is the thing.
there's no
But just
tiptoeing
say this
around
thing.
nothing over
Neither
here.
one of y'all have to argue with each other.
The point
The
is,
truth of the matter
marijuana is legal on
everybody
a
can do their
federal
own
level.
research and they'll Google this, and then you just have to admit you're wrong later.
Listen,
Whoever's wrong has to admit they're wrong later.
Here's all I'm saying
I'm
is
definitely not
marijuana is
wrong.
illegal at a federal level. Right now, abortion is legal on a federal level. It is legal on a federal
Isn't
level.
this kind of like what they're doing with the trans laws? Because they're making it like he's saying, I'm leaving it up to the state. It's not a federal thing
That's
anymore.
always been how it worked in the United States of America. If you want to even look at the United States
That's
of
not
America,
true?
yes, it is.
That's true, but this argument that he's
from the beginning of its inception, in the United States of America, you're looking at these colonies, right? Let's say, for example, you grew up in Maine. Well, this is before trains. This is before cars. This is before anything. You lived and died within a 3-mile radius of where you were from. So why would someone from Maine allow someone from Florida to influence what they did on a state level in their country? They're like, I don't give a fuck about what's happening in Florida. You don't give a fuck about what's happening in Maine. How about we say what happens in our own states and how it pertains to our lives? This still exists today. In its first inclination, America was much more like the European Union than it is America that we
So
have
how could
today.
the federal government say that they can intervene on the trans law rule? Then?
So would you like to speak on that?
Yes, because again, there's a conflict of law hierarchy. State law trumps city and municipal law. Federal laws trump state law. So what you have now under this president is one saying, I'm going to defer to the states because he doesn't want the backlash of the LGBTQ community that he said he was going to advocate on behalf of. There are states that are saying, well, we don't like what the last president did. We have the power of the state Senate, the state house on our side, and maybe a Republican governor will be able to say, you can't use our bathrooms because we're not comfortable with it. And Donald Trump is saying we're not enforcing it. So now the state law would win because there's no one willing to enforce on a federal level. And they've already reversed the...
So you just made my point.
I'm actually not. I'm making the point I was making before. They actually reversed the transgender rule that the Obama administration put in when Betsy DeVos and Trump and I think Mike Pence sat down to go over that.
So it's the reverse thing with the weed.
They reversed it with the weed and
Got
they
you.
reversed it with the transgender rule as well.
Got you. That makes perfect sense to me.
No, I think I know it. I think I know what you're saying.
Look, it's unenforceable on a federal level. You need the state's cooperation to do it.
Her fear is
And
not.
that's yes, you do.
gonna
There's
tell
just
you,
not
bro,
enough
you
federal
never- you-
employees
you
to knock
never-
on
you-
every single door, to knock on every single trans bathroom.
You're never going to
The
get a
way
date.
America
You're never
works.
going to get a date like this.
The
bro.
way
You're arguing
on
that-
America works is the states enforce
So you're saying
the
they
laws.
can't do it because they don't have enough
If-
manpower?
Exactly. There is not
So I
enough
think his
manpower on a
argument-
federal
his
level to
argument
do
is
it.
not that it's unenforceable. He's saying that they won't be able to have the
To
impact.
physically go there.
I get that. That's not what I thought.
Yeah,
you
that's
were
a different
saying
argument.
initially, but that's fine.
But
I think
it-
you're
real
right.
quick.
You're right. There are not enough people to enforce every single thing, every
Yeah,
single
but I
place.
think-
No,
Let her-
but
let
that
her
doesn't
finish.
mean
Okay.
that people won't have an issue. They won't encounter law enforcement at their particular
Sure.
weed shop. It just means that every single weed shop in a recreational use state
Yes.
and every single recreational use state will be shut down.
Absolutely. Now,
You're arguing two different
that
things.
doesn't mean-
No. So
I
to
agree.
my point, in order for Jeff Sessions' mandate to actually take hold and Jeff Sessions' mandate on weed to actually affect the weed community, he needs cooperation from the states.
I still don't
What
agree
I'm
with
saying is, and I was just in California where there was a vote whether to legalize it recreationally or not, and I'm sure it won overwhelmingly.
Yeah.
Is the state would never agree because
But they
the
don't
state
have
is
to
already.
agree because the DEA trumps state law.
I understand that, but
Okay.
it trumps state law in terms of written legislation. But they don't, again, like we just agreed, don't have the manpower to enforce their
But whether or
federal
not
law.
they have the manpower or not, they can.
They can
If
and
they wanted
they've
to.
always
for
could.
example,
They've always
they
had the
couldn't
ability
when they
to.
didn't have the permission of the lead boss saying
Here's-
to
hold on.
And
Can I
that
say this
lead
real
boss
quick?
could
Can I say
change
this
his
real quick?
mind at any
Yeah,
point in
and he could.
time.
or they could be a different lead boss, which is what we just saw
Exactly.
happen. The
So
point
the
is-
issue is not the boss. You're worried about the boss. The issue is the federal law, Angela. What you have to do
We're not
is
staying on this
the,
for 20 minutes,
The
man.
difference
Yeah,
between
this is-
this and
this is-
abortion. I didn't want to talk about this in the first place. I just want to talk about me dating Angela. But you guys want to go.
That's
fucking
never gonna
political.
happen now.
Listen, it will happen. Okay.
I thought you might have went over with a little bit of intellect, man, but you're
Listen.
like alt fact Andy right now.
Listen, but that's what they love. Left wing chicks love right wing dicks. Dude, that's what it is, dude. Look
don't
at
believe
I'm
that.
really not a
She is-
left wing chick then, because
Because what?
that ain't it.
What
Have
ain't
you ever
it?
dated a conservative?
First of all, I'm not a conservative. I'm
I didn't say
a
you
liberal.
were. Stop
Yeah.
being so defensive.
I got to.
He's arguing about everything. He'll be like, "I'm not conservative.
I'm not
I'm
conservative.
conservative. I'm
No,
not conservative.
no,
I'm a
nothing.
conservative."
Nothing was funnier than last time you was on the podcast. He was like, "Why I always got to be the white guy? Because you're white."
Always said that at the same time.
I thought we lived in a post-racial,
We don't.
harmonious
We don't
America.
know who lied
You
and
know what I
told
mean?
you that. We don't live.
Have you-
in
What is your
post-racial.
background? Are you mixed?
No, I'm black.
Really?
Yeah.
100%?
No, not 100%. But
You just found that out.
about the only person I know from the continent on my mom's side is a slave named Marie that was born in 1799 or 16.
How did he do all that?
Some guy on Facebook was able to trace. He knew my grandparents, my great grandparents, my great great grandparents, and he knew all of that. And that was the history I had.
Alternative
He was
facts,
able
yo.
to trace it.
Oh, I thought you took like an Ancestry.com
I
test.
have done that, but I didn't take one for actual ancestors. It was just like genetically, who am I? Where are my people from?
But wait, you found out that you're part, what else besides black?
Native American.
Okay.
My great great grandmother had it's called like a Takapa or something.
A what?
White. It's a tribe in Louisiana, like right outside.
Taco pie?
So you
No,
got
not taco pie.
Taco
Fool,
pie's
a
hot.
taco pie.
Taco pie's hot,
pie
bro.
sound like it tastes
Taco
great.
pie's on point for
Yeah,
real.
that's-
That's the
you guys are
first
so off
restaurant that Trump's
message.
kicking out.
This guy's an asshole. What's wrong with him, yo?
Anyway, so
I'm glad he laughs at his own
you
joke.
got some white. You got some white in you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
down the
that's
line.
what's up. You can have some more.
No,
Have you seen Get Out?
I love Get
Did you
Out.
see Get
I
Out?
just said that
Can
Andrew
we talk
was in
about
his,
the whiteness
No.
for something? You had a white person in your family.
I'm sure there's more than one.
Really?
course. Listen.
So then it's part of
by the way-
women in your family like that.
By the
Let's
way-
go.
No, you know what happened?
What?
Slave masters raped black women
okay,
on
you said it
plantations.
before I did.
Is that what you're
Definitely
saying?
Walked into that. Absolutely, I'm saying that.
Oh, you know that for a fact that happened.
Yes, absolutely, that happened.
You said you knew one person in your family,
No.
Marie.
I didn't. So this is a good sign of how we know you don't listen.
Yeah.
What I told you is the first time I've been able to trace back to the continent, which is Africa.
Oh.
This is the one person that I've been able to trace
But you
back.
know for a fact that white people raped your family members. That's, you know, for a fact.
Great
Yes,
possibility.
I can tell you. I can tell you that
Where
It's
is
a great
Charlamagne
possibility.
probably has some
Look,
too.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying I don't understand how you know that for a fact. Like that's written down or.
Great possibility that probably happened.
When,
I'm sure there's
when
great
black
possibility my
people-
Scottish family were raped by the English. Everybody's
Probably.
got that in their family. That's not something idiosyncratic to just American slaves. It's idiosyncratic to anybody who's been colonized before.
Yeah, and I think the frustration you might run into with that argument is that when people are treated like chattel or property, the folks at that time thought that they could do that and they had every right to do it because they owned the person who
Sure.
they didn't deem as fully human.
Yeah, the Vikings did it the Vikings did all throughout Europe.
Okay.
They did. That's what they're known
That's
for.
not,
Listen.
it's just not the point. I'm just not engaged.
My point is, I don't know.
Did we see Get Out?
Yes, but I just, no, I didn't see Get Out.
I was gonna say,
saw
like-
Logan, though.
like-
Holy shit.
Oh, you didn't see Get Out yet?
Oh,
You
my
have
God, I
to
didn't
see
see
it.
Get
It's
Out.
awesome.
Have you
That's
seen
like,
Get Out?
Sunken place.
Never really.
Y'all don't support other comedians?
No, I think Jordan Peele's hilarious, but I didn't have interest in seeing the movie.
The movie is brilliant. It's
$75
brilliant.
million.
Yeah.
On a
Unbelievable.
$4.5 million
Just
budget.
make great films,
It was
guys. It's
brilliant.
really not that hard.
See, the beauty of Get Out is this. It's a horror movie that is based off something that could actually be a reality. That's what's scary to me. Freddy Krueger's not scary to me anymore. Neither is Jason Voorhees, neither is Michael Myers. That's fantasy bullshit. But some things that could actually happen, that's frightening.
Like what? What could actually happen in this movie?
I don't want to give it away for you if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, you gotta see
Yeah, you got to go see it, bro.
It's really good.
I mean, like, y'all's argument exhausted me too much to pretend I care about being phony anymore.
I'm tired too.
So I literally just been on
I
ESPN
didn't
the
wanna
last
do
10
it,
minutes.
man.
Well, Angela Rye, I'd like to formally introduce you to Andrew Schultz.
Nice to meet you, Andrew.
What's up,
It
babe?
had him in 15 minutes and
It's
she's
like-
exhausted.
How you doing,
That
babe?
is,
I'm exhausted,
Listen,
man.
you
Listening.
That's not the first time.
you don't know Andrew
Hey,
Schultz if he's never exhausted you.
No,
Hey.
this is the second time now. Second time.
That was over the
podcast.
phone, though.
15
Yeah.
minutes is usually long for me. I'm quick to get exhausted. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you a nice little 7 minutes.
All right, let's do a mid-roll. Come on. This episode of Brilliant Idiots
Disgusting.
is also brought to you by Movement Watches. By the way, you're not making a good argument for white people not raping.
Why you made it rape? Why you made it rape, bro? Why you made it
That
rape?
was
Not
real-
accepting
that-
no.
Yeah,
No
that was
means
real
no.
rapey, bro.
What do you mean? What do you mean? No, I never asked you for anything.
Oh, okay.
You just
That's the
thinking about
point.
sex. I'm trying to get to know you on an emotional level. You can't stop thinking about dick.
No, actually,
What?
I'm not thinking about
All
that.
I'm trying to do is be
All I know
friends.
is no. Okay, well, I don't want to be
You know,
your friend
if something
either.
else happens after that,
Nope.
then maybe we could do that.
Come on, let's do the mid-roll.
Yeah, please.
This
God.
episode of Brilliant Idiots
Talking
is
about
also...
sex all of a sudden. I
Shut
never
the
mentioned
fuck up,
sex
Andrew.
one time.
Listen, this episode of
Jeez.
Brilliant Idiots is also brought to you by Movement Watches. Started by two broke college kids that wanted to wear stylish watches but couldn't afford them. Movement Watches was found on the belief that style shouldn't break the bank. Okay, by selling their products entirely online, Movement was able to cut out the middleman and the real markup in order to provide you with the best price possible. Watches starting at just $95.
Absolutely amazing. That's a fraction of what department store brands typically charge. This revolutionary pricing, along with Movement's classic design, quality construction, and styled minimalism, has led to over 500,000 watches being sold in over 160 countries. So step up your watch game and see why people across the world love Movement watches. Just go to mvmtwatches.com/idiots and get 15% off today. And they'll throw in free shipping and free returns. That's mvmtwatches.com/idiots. Join the movement. Angela, what's your favorite food?
I don't know. I like a lot of different things. I'm not sure. It's
Hey,
a good question.
You don't know what your favorite food is?
Not off the bat. I like a lot of things. Macaroni and cheese.
Do you cook?
Yeah.
Okay.
You cook?
Andrew, leave me alone.
You better,
Yo,
when a
this
black
girl
woman tell you to
keeps
leave her,
getting better,
when a black
bro.
woman tell you to leave her alone, you better leave her the fuck alone.
Really?
Yes, I told you that with Crystal years ago, but no, you just kept pushing it and
I
pushing
know,
it.
I did.
You just kept... Now, Akaash, what's on your mind, sir? You sitting here looking all lonely.
You look
That
so
shit wore me
puzzled.
out, man.
Tired.
I hate listening to people talk politics now. I'm over all of it. In this argument, he's just yelling. Nobody's
You know,
listening.
man, a long time ago, somebody told me 3 things you should never discuss: is politics, religion, and who's the best rapper, Biggie or Tupac.
That's hilarious.
And it's really,
It's so true.
It's really gotten
It's
to that
so
point.
true.
Like, we don't even care about religion no more.
No.
That don't
Yo,
get discussed like
you know
that.
what? I'm really tired of people knocking religion. I was raised with no religion, but like I'm tired of this like new atheist shit. I think we were talking about this before.
Yeah.
It's like all these people who are atheists now. Religion especially if you grew up in America, Christianity has influenced every aspect of your life.
Absolutely.
So all you did is just took all the good shit of being a Christian, the golden rule, treat others how you'd like to be treated, take care of your friends and family, treat people with respect. All you've done is take all these good things religion and just cut out the goofy shit. Don't get me wrong, religion needs an upgrade. There are some things that are absolutely stupid that is still are promoted.
I don't think you need religion. I'm a spiritual person. I don't necessarily believe in religion.
My point is, we don't need it now. There was a time where it served a great purpose for civilization and making society a comfortable place to live in. Now,
to keep the slaves in check.
Fuck the slaves, dog. It's not even about the slaves. To keep the free people in check. You realize? You know how many
it was meant to keep the slaves in check initially.
Dog.
You think religion was created to sleep?
Not created, but
religion.
You saw Birth of a Nation, right?
It's probably not a good idea.
But you saw Birth of a Nation, right?
Fam, Birth of a Nation is.
But no, you saw Birth of a Nation.
Is 5,000 years after Judaism, 2,000 years, 1,800
He's not
years.
saying created though. He's saying used.
it
And
was
religion
used.
is used.
Of course it's used.
Religion
Absolutely.
is like anything powerful. Anything powerful can be manipulated as evil.
Facebook
But
is used to
that
keep
doesn't
people
make
in line,
it evil.
son.
That just makes it
Facebook is
powerful.
used to keep people. It's like obviously everything possible, like you said, powerful is going to be used to keep people in line. My point is, we live in a place right now that has been influenced in so many ways by religion. To shit on religion entirely as if it hasn't created a platform for you to even be an atheist.
Nothing
right now
wrong
is
with that,
absurd.
though. Nothing wrong with that because we grow, we evolve, we learn new things. Like I listened to this great TED talk about science, and science is just a bunch of people literally doing research in the room and then agreeing that this is what something is. But the thing about science, it always changes. He's like, that's the beauty of being a scientist. Like they can know something about a planet 50 years ago, 50 years later, it's something different. I think the same should be with religion. I don't think you should just stick to the script.
Has.
What do you mean?
Religion has changed so much over time. Like
I think we become more accepting of things.
Specifically,
Homosexuals.
not
one
even,
of the two.
but absolutely yes, homosexuals. But specifically Christianity, and it's because Christianity reflects the free market. When you think about it, right? There are mad different sects of Christianity. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not even religious at all.
How we start off, we don't want to talk about religion, but started having a conversation.
So I love
the brilliant idiots, baby.
But think about it, there's all these different sects of Christianity, right? Like we could probably name 100 if people really know about religion. You know, Baptist, Lutheran, whatever, all these different ones. So, and I think what has essentially happened is they've competed for followers. And just like any business, just like restaurants, just like whatever it is, you have to have the hot shit in order to get the followers because the people.
I just want y'all to let Jesus headline a holiday. That's all I want y'all to do.
I know, you love it.
That's all I want. I just want Jesus to be able to headline Easter once.
Doesn't he
headline Christmas just once? Okay, stop putting Santa and the Easter Bunny and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Grinch and all these people ahead of Jesus and let Jesus headline his own birthday just for once.
He gets enough love.
That's all I want.
Nobody's putting the Easter Bunny on a chain. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. What's up, Angela? You ready for a date yet?
So no still means no.
What else we need to know, General Rye?
Like that.
I'm just don't know how else to communicate with you. More words getting in the way.
Awkward. Like, I'm being facetious about taking you out on a date, obviously, and you turn into some real rape shit. It's super insensitive to people who've actually gone through that, Angela. Have some respect for those victims.
Oh, okay.
You did come off a little creepy though.
Yeah, but it's a joke. It's in jest. I'm not really gonna force somebody to go out on a date with me, but you're making rape jokes.
Kind of wasn't making rape jokes.
Kind of a rape joke.
What
Technically, Angela's
what are we
making
talking
rape
about
jokes,
right
yo.
now? Akaash, you want to
Never
provide
made a rape
anything?
joke.
Yo, I'm exhausted, dog. This a lot. I'm still worn out from everything. Y'all just,
You don't want to lighten the mood?
I'm trying, man. I'm trying, but when people start arguing, no one listens to each other, and then I just shut down. I just get real quiet, and I'm like, nobody cares.
That is a problem.
You
that's
just want to
going
yell
on
your
in
point
our
more than
country
be,
right now.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I'm done.
Everybody's yelling past each other instead of talking to each other.
Damn right.
I don't remember.
Well, Angela was talking to you. You was yelling past her though.
I mean, that's what you'll say.
Nah, they were both yelling, but I saw where the miscommunication was. I thought, but it just wasn't worth. I would try to say it.
Where was the
Everybody-
miscommunication?
I think what she was saying is this boss is saying like, hey, you can go in there now. Whereas before the old boss, whoever, Attorney General, whatever his name was like, hey, don't fucking go into there. Andrew's saying it's impossible to shut down all of them. I think her concern was you can selectively shut down certain dispensaries. That's it.
My concern is not. I know. Don't. I know.
She was so right.
I know. It's
No, I was just trying to understand what's happening.
none of us have been able to understand what Greg has been saying for a while.
Craig came in here and apologized to me today. I was like, for what, bro? Like,
Stop acting like you don't know for what.
Hey man, I've been acting like I didn't know what happened before. I'm gonna start acting like I know what's something wrong now.
Fuck you or what? What's going on?
It's like, hey man, I just stayed on the computer.
All right. Okay. Here's a quick thing that we can segue. Kevin Durant injured.
I was bisexual for a while. Done with it.
Jesus, what the fuck, Greg?
Greg is the
What
realest.
happened, Greg? What
Greg
happened?
is the. You want to talk about it,
No,
Greg?
because
Come here, Greg.
he got some
I guess
outbursts.
so.
Yeah, let's talk
Greg,
about
come here, sit down. Come here, sit right here, Greg.
He can have my mic.
No.
Greg, so what happened, Greg?
Girl now.
So tell
But before the girl.
So
I
yeah,
don't know, just trying to respect it different out here.
Hold on. Greg, what did you just say, Greg? You said you was bisexual for a while.
Yeah, I was bisexual for a while.
yeah.
And
How'd that
trying to
happen?
respect big man fight mode, got dissed for it like a lot here and there, and fought 2 fights this week.
Oh, people was messing with you about being bisexual?
Yeah, to respect my name.
Yeah.
And like fans out here know it probably, like just me on like the radio, like equally. I deserve a diss for it. I'm like
Somebody was talking about you
homophobic about it.
Somebody was talking about you being bisexual on the radio?
I was scared of it for some reason, like everyone is just trying to get over the fear. And saw Wax beat me up about it, and people at the gym.
You mean like make fun of you about it?
Yeah.
You weren't in a physical altercation.
No, he did. He did.
Let me be a roving
Trying to
reporter.
respect the word fag out here.
So you were offended by hearing that word.
You don't have to explain your sexuality
care.
to nobody,
At the
Greg.
court, they say it to you. It's like you gotta like.
You're playing basketball and somebody says it.
Basketball court. Okay.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
trying. I'm just.
So it's very hot in this room, by the way.
Hey, Charles Wade is drip sweating right now.
No, we're all sweating. First of all,
How people at the court know you was bisexual?
They call me fag and I don't say it back. And then I call the guy fag and got in a fight over it.
Oh, he said it. He didn't get called when he called.
no, they did call it to him, and then he said it back. He said,
But they
so
just said it to you on like some man stuff, not because
they
of your
didn't think that
sexuality.
you were gay, but they were just saying it
Yeah,
to be
thank you.
insulting.
Oh, but you felt bad because you actually had experimented with a guy.
Yeah, radio knowledge isn't my thing. Just listening out here, I've been dumb for a while to respect.
You're not dumb, Greg. I tell you that all the time. Stop saying that.
He's not saying he's dumb. He's saying he was allowing people to disrespect him. And now he's standing up for himself and standing up for the fact that he was offended. I think it's very brave of you to share it. You know, obviously you've shared these things with me before, but I always respected your, you know, whatever you wanted to do with it, be it something you keep to yourself or be it something you share with people.
He told you had been with a guy before?
Yeah, I mean, that's my brother. I love him.
You didn't give him shit?
Fam, I thought he was
love my
kidding
brother,
until
bro.
this moment. I thought he was just saying some random shit.
Because Andrew
I
likes
know
to joke. I'm
Greg
saying
for-
good, he didn't.
No, yeah,
Son,
I'm just
First of all,
I know Greg for a
Greg and
decade.
I will always, you know, I mean, we'll always teach each other, but I've always told him I love him no matter what he does. It
goddamn
don't matter. That never made it different for me.
They look alike. You can't tell.
That's my,
No,
that's my
I didn't know
blood.
that.
That's my blood. So,
Is he nice to you? Does he argue with you like this?
We argue.
Not gonna tell family business. I respect that.
you
Greg.
can tell whatever. But
eclectic conversation. What I like, just trying to learn it makes. This is like an illusory language out here, and there's different planes, levels of this language.
I'm gonna keep it
So
real,
now
bro.
you know, now you know what the LGBT community goes through, though. But now you know what the LGBT community goes through.
Yeah,
And not saying that you ever were like a prejudiced person towards them, but in the future you probably wouldn't have no discrimination towards them at all because you understand.
You
what they go through.
understand the prejudice. You understand, and
I guess that's why I say Uncle Tom, because Uncle Tom, in a way, felt like slavery on me, in a way.
You mean oppression, not slavery, oppression.
Yeah.
You felt oppression.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
felt discrimination. You felt oppression. Yeah.
Yeah. Not used to attention, but like there's different levels of this to keep life going, not boring humor.
Does it make you feel
real out here?
Does it make you feel better to talk about it?
Yeah, but not this way. I don't know it that well. So,
Dude, I'm so proud of you, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
fucking
listen,
man,
proud
my
of you,
bad
man.
if I
You
was-
taught me something just now because you know how I always say like
I'm so proud.
gay people shouldn't have a press conference.
Sure.
I guess it's freeing to do that.
Well, I think
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think what Greg was trying to say is that, you know, in terms of his like label, I don't know if he identified. I don't know if he was saying he ever identified as gay. And right now, I know he has a girlfriend, but I think a lot of people might have felt like Greg did in the past, where you know they might have had feelings towards both sexes, and some of them would probably be too scared to go exercise that. Or,
This is too much for Akaash.
You know what I mean?
He's had enough. Akaash is like, look, man, I did not come here for this. He was like, Akaash is like, look, bro.
this is just a lot.
Bro, this is, you don't understand. That's my best friend in comedy right there. One of my best friends in life, Akaash.
I don't want to fuck you.
No.
Greg for the win! Greg, come on.
Greg, high five, Greg.
That's all right. That's all right.
No, I wasn't. I'm not like weirded out or offended. I just known you for a decade, and I just didn't know. I thought you were just kidding.
Good job.
So when
Greg.
you say,
That comeback was
you know, Greg just says
snatched.
random shit.
Yeah,
Greg just
always
says weird. So when he
random
says I'm not bisexual, whatever, I thought he was doing the Greg thing. I was like, what the fuck you doing, man?
Oh, he used
and
to
then
say
he,
that?
he just says random shit, Greg. You know what I
always
mean? He
will
just
say
says
random
weird
stuff
shit.
to fuck with people.
So just like I thought he was just doing that. I was like, what the fuck is
He
going
said
on?
something
Then he
before
sits
that, and I was
down.
like, huh?
But yeah, that's how he gets
He
down.
said Uncle Tom. That's what he said.
That's what he said?
Yeah, he said Uncle Tom.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Lord. Were you calling me Uncle Tom, Greg?
we
No,
don't know.
he was trying
Greg
to
just be saying
He
shit.
was talking about how he felt. That's why he explained just now. He kind of felt like an Uncle Tom.
Like he felt like, I mean,
cool
you
with
can
it.
explain
We cool.
yourself if you want. I don't want to speak for you, but I think the argument was like, if I'm going to,
I think we've had
take
enough of a
part
breakthrough
in
with
the-
Greg. Don't-
if I'm
don't
going
push
to take
him.
part in the gay jokes, in a way, I'm insulting other people who might feel like me. So I have to stand up for it. I can't
Yeah.
allow people to just call me that or say something like that.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest,
Yo, man, this
real talk is super brave, man, because I mean, Greg is fortunate. He comes from a very supportive family. You know, obviously we love him no matter what. But like, there you have to worry about scrutiny and how someone else might feel. Even your closest friends, when you hear them making a joke or a gay joke, whatever, you start to think, "Oh my God, will they not like me? Will they not accept me?" So when you admit something like that, you might have done something gay in the past. You're not just admitting what you've done. You're essentially taking the risk of losing your friendships and
that is
relationships.
true. And by the way, I wish everybody could feel just some oppression and some discrimination, just once.
You're a good guy.
No, I'm serious. Because when you feel it once,
Passion and empathy.
like,
No, you're
like you
right.
could tell, I can look at Greg and tell he has empathy for the homosexual community now.
Yeah.
If everybody could just feel that oppression just once, that discrimination once, the world would change.
Yeah.
I personally think so.
Yeah.
I absolutely think the world would change.
Absolutely. Yeah, we often talk about that, even with religion.
If
but
you could be black in that hoodie for one time, walking through Florida.
with some Skittles.
Whoa.
Shit, forget it.
Whoa.
You know, we spoke about it even with religion. Like people always go like, you know, well, how is it possible if God exists that all this bad stuff happens? Like, imagine if nothing bad ever happened. How unempathetic humans would be to each other.
By the way, Greg just yelled out homo thugs. His ad libs are gonna be fire from
That's
here
what
on
I'm
out.
saying.
I
So-
just want y'all to know that.
Yeah.
Like, I just keep, I'm like, huh?
I don't know. I could always understand Greg. I don't know why.
Charles a Greg translator.
I just could. I don't know why.
Ready.
I'll be honest. I don't know. Why'd you say homo thugs, Greg?
I don't know yet.
Just give him a moment. He'll figure it out. Now we know what's been going on. It's a lot going on in Greg's mind.
Yeah, I've
Well,
always
yeah,
done
good
this
for
a
you,
lot.
Greg,
Yeah.
for being open and all.
Man, I'm so proud of you, bro.
Yeah, man, that's a beautiful thing.
I am. I'm so proud of you.
Man, I
Good
think
shit.
I don't even know where we can go from here. So I'm just going like, I think this is a good time to maybe end it. I don't know how long.
How long we been here?
recording. Come be honest with you. I don't see where we can go from here.
Well, I'd like to talk about Kevin Durant if we're done with the gay stuff.
Is this a good? I don't know if this is a good follow up.
You might need to splice this in the middle.
Yeah, I don't know. What did Kevin Durant? I just want to hear the beginning.
Yeah.
Let me see.
No, I just think this is totally unrelated whatsoever. But I think this Kevin Durant getting injured is the best thing to happen to him in his career.
Yeah, this ain't gonna be what
Let
Greg
me explain
did, bro.
why. Because
Never in your life have you had to follow up Greg.
Nothing is going to beat this. Nothing is going to beat this.
You
We
can't
know.
follow up Greg, bro.
Nothing is beat this. But we can, go and we can find it. Here's my point. The Golden State Warriors suck now without Kevin Durant. They lost 2 in a row, then they won one. They just lost to the Celtics last night, right? While Kevin was playing, they were incredibly dominant. if Kevin didn't get injured and they win, everybody'd say, "Oh, they were already great. They were already great. They were going to win anyway. Kevin just jumped on a hot team, and that's why he got a ring." Now,
when they win, it means something.
Kevin gets the credit. Kevin Durant gets the credit.
I thought everybody was over exaggerating that situation. They went 73-9 last year. Like they're fine without Kevin Durant. The only thing that probably
they're
hurt
not.
Well,
They're losing games now.
But the only thing that probably hurt them is because they're used to Kevin now because he got a rhythm with Kevin.
That's what I was.
And they gave up a lot of players. They gave a lot of bench players and they gave up size. So Kevin isn't getting credit for all the bench players and the size. So my point is the fact that he got injured, when he comes back and if they do win the championship, will actually be able to give Kevin Durant credit for that ring, whereas in the past, people would be able to write him off if, you just went to a hot team, you didn't really have that much influence.
He's also playing with I think 2-time MVP, at least one time.
Who?
Unanimous. Steph, the only unanimous MVP in the history.
2 times.
Yeah.
So, it's hard to give you a ton of credit when you're playing with someone who's won twice as many MVPs as you.
Sure, you're gonna get some.
You're Kobe with Shaq, and we couldn't really give Kobe full props as long as he played with Shaq.
I'm gonna be honest, Mike and Mike. Neither one of y'all should have went up after Greg.
I tried
Greg
to
shut shit down. Greg shut it down. All right.
He did shut it down.
He shut it down with some good old fashioned truth. And I need to even go process some of what I've heard today on the Brilliant Idiots podcast.
Congrats, though, Greg.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you.
What are we gonna name the podcast?
Dick Talk. This is Dick Talk. Now, we got a whole nother level of Dick Talk now, baby. All right.
Can we not call it that since I'm on here today? Can we call it something else?
Oh, that's just for certain segments.
Yeah,
Greg, we should have yelled Dick Talk after Greg finished talking.
Does it bother you when we go gay?
No, I like it.
Because it's in jest.
No, I think he was being sarcastic when he said I like
it's good. It's good humor.
I think he's being sarcastic.
No, I think he's being serious right now.
I'm just uptight about it, so I diss it for a while.
But now,
it's good humor.
you tell us what you think you're comfortable with. We want to. Now,
Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie.
Now we care about.
By the way, when Greg sat down and said he was bisexual, that was the first thing I thought to say. But I thought you was gonna do it, so I was like, I'm not gonna do it if you don't do it because I don't know what's going on right now.
Charlie, man, you almost read the Floyd Mayweather shit again. You almost read.
All right. As always, if you listen to this podcast, you think we're smart, you think we're intelligent, you think we're brilliant, you're absolutely right. If you listen to this podcast, you think we're just a couple idiots who don't know shit and don't know when to stop, you're absolutely right too. It's the Brilliant Idiots Podcast. Thank you for listening.
Thanks again to HBO and Gerard Carmichael for supporting this week's episode of Brilliant Idiots. Gerard Carmichael has returned to HBO for his second stand-up comedy special, Gerard Carmichael 8, filmed in front of a live audience in New York City. The show features Gerard's subversive, thought-provoking take on cultural norms. Gerard Carmichael 8 premieres on